Okay, I'm going to make a tray, 6-sided tray, hexagon tray. First, I take my slab of clay and I'm ribbing it to compress the clay to use on there. Then I have a silicone mold, which I really quite like. It's vines and flowers. And I'm going to roll it onto there to impress the clay. I start with the center and roll out to the edges. That way it doesn't warp as much. Okay, I quite like this design. I use it quite often, and I always take my form that will become my tray, and I'll cut off the clay with my pin tool. That way I know exactly what size this will become. And then after I've cut it out, get rid of the excess clay, remove it off of there, and flip my design over, put it on top of my form, line up all my corners. Then I take my red rubber rib, my soft one, and smooth out the edges. This pushes the edges down, makes a crisper edge on the corners, and just makes a better shape of the tray. Because I made the first corner, I pushed it down a little too much and I've got a lot of excess clay there. So I'll take my pin tool in a few minutes and just take off that excess clay. Just routing it along the edge of the wooden form underneath it. And then once I get it nice and smooth, and the way I like it, I take my scoring tool and I'll score an edge around it. And the scoring, I'll put some slip on it and I'll be making feet, cutting out pieces of clay and make feet for the bottom of it. I just take my excess clay, just cut off strips. I first started cutting off the strip, estimating how wide it would be, and I thought it's better to see with my ruler, but I thought, well, why don't I take it from the other side and just take it, that way I just give it an estimate as to how wide each strip will be. I just cut a few of them off and set them aside because I don't measure them ahead of time. I just cut them off, and that way I'll have enough to use when I need to put on the tray. Okay, I bring the tray back. I accidentally picked a piece up of one of the strips up. Now I just take some liquid clay called slip, add it onto there. This is like the glue that glues the strips. Make sure they stick really good. You don't want the feet falling off on your piece. This way, when I put feet on the bottom, when I glaze it, I can glaze everything except the foot. So the bottom of the tray's actually got glaze on it too. Now I line it up and cut it at each corner to give me my beveled corners. That one I was able to turn over, but the next one, of course, is a new strip. I can't turn it over. So what I'm going to do actually is going to lay it on top of the other one and then cut through both of them. And that gives me a nice, neat corner. And take off this little bit of excess from the other one underneath it. And just do this all around the whole thing. Now this size piece, I was going to use this piece, but I realized it's probably make it too small. So I've got lots of pieces there. Take an extra piece and put it out. That's why I cut quite a few pieces. Now once I've got them all on there, I'll take a damp sponge, clean up all the edges, make the edges smooth and straight. Clean up the top. Join those seams together as well too. I take quite a bit of time cleaning this up. I don't want to rush this stage because I want to make sure this is nice and level and nice and straight. A straight foot on the bottom. I don't measure the edges. I just estimate it so far, maybe 1/8 of an inch in from the tray. And just keep smoothing around it. And once I get it smooth with my fingers and with my sponge, I cut off any extra little bit that stretches out. And again, go through it with my rib and just smooth it out again with my rib. I'm going over the top very lightly. I'm not pushing it down. I'm just blending more to blend the seams together, to help them get the seams together. And then just run my finger on the outside edge, takes off any extras, brings it smooth. I see I've got a little lump there, a little extra, so just take that off, smooth off, square off that corner. And then once I'm satisfied with the outside edge, I continue with it and I bring in a damp paintbrush. The paintbrush gets into the corners. It gets rid of all of the scoring lines that I have there and smooths everything out. It also blends the edge of the foot to the tray. Makes it a cleaner join between the two. I don't rush this job. I take my time, make sure it's very smooth and it looks very nice. I don't want to have a rough edge there. And just take my time with it. Another step, I have a little stamp that's got my name, the Butler's Pottery, on it. Press it in the bottom of it. And then now the tray is, let it sit and dry for a bit, and this is what it looks like before it's fired.